Oh man, there were some people that were angry. Me too, actually. Um, so I've been on eBay Managed Payments for a couple weeks now, and I thought I would make an update video, talk a little bit about fees. And in this video, I'll be able to tell you for sure whether or not the eBay Managed Payment fees are more or less than they used to, despite eBay's claims that sellers have saved millions of dollars by switching to eBay Managed Payments. Don't sue me, Geico. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm James. You're watching Journey into Wealth, channel where I take side hustles, turn it into cash, turn that into wealth. Today we're talking about eBay Managed Payments. I've just recently switched over to eBay Managed Payments, and I gave it kind of my first impressions review. If you haven't seen that video, watch that after this video. I'll link it in the description below. There will also be a ton of other links in the description below going over anything and everything that I happen to talk about in this video. So buckle up, let's get right into it. First of all, I want to talk about fees. This video is mostly going to be about fees, actually. And these are going to be actual numbers, not these eBay promotional statistics crap. These are going to be my numbers picked from my sales. Maybe take a look at like 5 transactions, the last 5 transactions, and see whether or not they would have been cheaper on the old system or new eBay Managed Payments. So for the purpose of this comparison, we won't be assuming any kind of listing fees or anything like that. We're just going to be talking about final value fees, and we're not going to be pretending like we have a store, because I don't currently have a store, and a lot of like lower volume sellers don't necessarily have stores. So we're going to be basing this number off of the 12.5%, or 12.35%, I'm sorry, not the 11.5 that you would be getting on a store. And we're not going to assume any listing fees, because everybody just about gets 200 at least free listings a month. So fees can get kind of nuanced. So we're going to take the same approach that eBay took, and we're going to kind of do the managed payment thing with just the most common types of transactions. And we're going to use 12.35% as the final value fee, plus the 30 cents. If you have a basic store, you'd be paying about 11.5% instead of the 12.35%. But you would roughly need 76 transactions at a $46 per transaction level, or roughly $3,500 to kind of offset the fee for the store to make it worth it. So this video is going to be primarily focused on sellers that are going to do lower volume, or sellers that don't have a basic store or above. If you have a starter store, you're still paying 12.35%. So these numbers are going to be based on that number. So first I want to talk about the things that eBay has been using to promote managed payments. And some of those points are like more buyer choice in how they pay. No need to have a PayPal account, that kind of thing. And basically the ability for a buyer to go onto eBay and pay for a transaction in any way, shape, or form that they possibly have, including Google Pay, Apple Pay, those kinds of things, theoretically implying that that's going to generate more sales for a seller. I personally have not had enough experience with managed payments to know if that's true or not, so I can't really speak to that. The second selling point is that there's convenience. So in reporting and management of your eBay business, and debatable. Streamlined operations is another thing that they hit on. So direct payments directly to your bank. You don't have to go from PayPal to your bank. But for the most part, people that I know anyway, they spend out of their PayPal account with their PayPal debit card. So you really got your funds instantly, and it's not really too much of a benefit. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a second. And finally, they talk about simpler fees. Note that they do not say cheaper fees, not on the selling point anyway. They still give a bunch of examples of sellers who have saved millions by switching to eBay Managed Payments. But unless you're on a store and you're selling a high amount of volume, that doesn't really seem to be the case so far. But we're going to take a look at some actual fees here in just a minute and determine that for ourselves. So first I want to say all of eBay's featured examples assume a tax rate of like 6%, which according to the Tax Foundation is like none. There's like a handful of states handful of cities, that offer a 6% tax rate or below. Literally ranked 99 out of a list of 114. Link in the description below if you want to check that out. So let's just see how it breaks down in real life using real transactions from my last couple days of sales, plus one wild card that I had to throw in there because you'll see. Just stick around. So let's talk about some fees really quick. How were they assessed before versus how are they assessed now? Before you had 2 companies. You had eBay and you had PayPal. And eBay took 10% of the sales value plus shipping And then PayPal took 2.9% of the entire value, including tax, and added a 30 cents transaction fee. So eBay had looked at the situation and said, I know, we'll charge everybody 12.35%, because if you do your math there, that's 10% and 2.9% sounds like 12.9% plus 30 cents on a transaction. So fees now are charged eBay only. They've cut PayPal out of the transaction entirely. eBay charges 12.35% and adds 30 cents as a transaction, which sounds cheaper, doesn't it? Except for that, eBay now charges 12.35% on selling value plus shipping plus tax, and that does actually make a difference, which we'll see later. eBay also adds a 1.65% fee if you're selling internationally through the global shipping program, of which I've done 3 of those transactions already since shipping, and it does add up, but you do kind of save on the sales tax. So before we roll into a real fee comparison, there's one major gripe that I just have to put out there, and it's something that a lot of people in my last video had in the comment section below, and that is eBay takes everything up front. Essentially, they strangle the cash flow of a seller. Now, if you're a seasoned seller, you might have the reserves to weather that kind of storm, but a lot of newer sellers aren't going to have it. And it's going to really cost a lot of people a lot of money unless you're willing to operate on credit, which a lot of people aren't. So this is something that you do need to know before you switch to managed payments, but the reality is everyone's switching to managed payments, so you need to kind of get your books in order right now before that happens so that you can be prepared for this. As an example of this, let's just make numbers easy. We'll say you have a take-home after fees of $50 and a shipping cost of $25. If you sell one item today, $50 comes into your account, you pay $25, you charge $25 for shipping, so $25 goes out. $50 is in your account now. Tomorrow, if you sell 2 items and they're both $50 and $25 like we just talked about, you're going to pay the $25 on each of those shipping out of today's funds. So effectively what that does is it pushes out your payout date. It could be forever if you always doubled the amount of sales that you had. But the reality is once you switch to managed payments, your first day, if you do $100 in sales and then you ramp up and the second day you do even better and you spend $100 in shipping, they're going to take the shipping out of the settled funds, not out of the transactions in which they belong. So it pushes your payout date back further and further down the line, which could delay your already delayed payouts anyway. Now, the alternatives would be to just pay for the shipping out of PayPal and essentially front that money, and then you get your payout from eBay in 3 to 5 business days. In my experience so far, my payouts have been slow, not horribly slow. Also of note, it is not daily payouts, it's weekday payouts. So anything you do Friday, Saturday, or Sunday gets paid out on Tuesday, and it kind of rotates around like that. And there is a delay after they issue your payout. There's a delay by your bank of 1 to 3 business days, give or take. I bank with Chase, and mine's taken about 2 business days to get to my account. Anyway, so let's get down to the fees. I'm going to screen record here really quick, and I'm going to show you a spreadsheet that I made, and we're going to run through about 5 of my transactions. We're going to show you the comparison before and after, which was cheaper, and how it all boils down. And also, one little thing that I put in there was the fee comparison as a percent of the sale, because as you're shopping, you need to know this so that you can figure out how much exactly you're going to spend and whether or not it's worth it to buy. All right, so as you're looking at here on the screen, I've created a spreadsheet that I use to kind of determine my fees, and you just have to punch in a few of the numbers and you'll see what the old fees would have been and the new fees. So let's get right into it. We're going to do a couple of sales here. I'm going to show you one right now that's a little bit of an older sale. It was a cup that I sold for $31.49, but there was 0 sales tax. And the reason why I'm showing you that is because it does make a difference. Okay, so we're going to enter our numbers in here. Let's scroll up just a little bit so we can see all of the goods. The cost of actual shipping is up here in the top, and then the charge shipping is down on the bottom. So that's where I'm getting these numbers. So sales value on this guy was $31.49, and then charged shipping was $9.60, and that's the figure that eBay is going to go off of to get their money out of. It doesn't matter if the shipping was cheaper. So down here, the actual shipping was $8.56. I did actually make a little bit of money on on this transaction, but you can see $32.53 is my net revenue, and I figured that out by taking the sales value plus the charge shipping and then subtracting the actual shipping. So I actually made a little bit more money on that transaction than I sold it for, which is always good. But let's take a look at the fees. Fees, the old eBay fee would have been $4.11. The old PayPal fee would have been $1.49, and the total of the fees would have been $5.60. So that would have put my net total after my net revenue of $32.53 at $26.93. So the new fee would have been $5.37, which is actually less, right? So we got a $5.37 fee, netting us $27.16. For this specific cup, I think I paid $1.99, so yay, made a decent amount of money on it. But let's take a look here really quick as the fee comparison as a percentage of the sale. Under the old system, that would have been a 17.7% of the sale for the fees. Which means that if you're shopping around Goodwill and you're saying, oh, 13% of the fees, 13% of the fees, and you're doing your math on that, you're actually doing your math incorrectly. What you should have been doing is 17.78% on this particular transaction. It does adjust a little bit. Excuse me. The new fee as a percentage of the sale value is 17.068 on this one, so we'll call it 17.07. And the way that I got that number is basically just taking the fee and dividing it by the sale value. I'm not taking into consideration any of the shipping costs or sales tax or any of the other stuff, and that's why that percentage is higher than that 12.35%, because eBay is taking 12.35% on the entire transaction, shipping, sales tax, and sale value, and that's why it's 12.35% of a larger number. But if you're actually looking at the sale value, because ultimately we don't see any sales tax, we don't see any of the shipping, we see maybe a little bit in this instance of the shipping, but eBay is still charging you a fee on it. So as a percentage of the transaction that we actually benefit from, it's going to be 17.068% of $31.49. So that's just a rundown kind of as how it goes here on this thing. What we're seeing here is a net positive of 23 cents using the new eBay. So that's good. I will say that's because there's no sales tax. Because watch this. So we'll close that one out. We don't need that one anymore. The next transaction that we have here is it was a keychain. I can't remember who it was. Pandora or something like that. I sold it for 21 bucks. $9.60 in shipping, which was crazy. I don't even know how that ended up like that. It only cost me actually $3.43 in shipping. And then $2.72 in sales tax. So let's punch the numbers in really quick and see what we end up with. So 21 even. Charged shipping was $9.60. That's fantastic. Sales was $2.72, and then actual shipping cost was $3.43. So I netted a lot of money based on that shipping because I actually put in $6 extra in my pocket, which is fantastic. However, if you look at the old fees, the old eBay fee would have been $3.06, and the old PayPal fee would have been $1.27. That's a total of $4.33, whereas the new fee is $4.42. It's actually 9 cents more to use the new eBay method, and that's because they're charging that fee on the sales tax that you don't actually get anything. Now, as a percentage of the sale, $21 was a low sale value, so the fees that I paid, $4.42, is 20.6 of the sale value. So if I'm out there shopping around, I need to subtract 20% right off the bat to know whether or not I'm profitable and know whether or not I am earning the amount of money that I want to earn on that sale. In this instance, eBay managed payments is $9 more expensive for me. Are you having fun yet? Let's do one more. Because there's a whole slew of these things. This was a Starbucks cup that I sold for $100. So this is a little bit higher dollar value item. And I thought I would throw a couple of these in there just because, difference of value in items. See if that makes a difference. $11.75 shipping. Sales tax was $8.38 because this person must live in New York or something. Actual shipping was $10.08. And that puts me at $101.67 of net revenue on that. Old fee total would have been $14.96, but new fee is actually $15.14. So the gap widens the more expensive that you get. And you're looking at that and saying, oh, 18 cents is probably not that big a deal. Well, when you do 1,000 transactions, 18 cents per transaction actually adds up relatively quickly. On top of the fact that, as we've discussed before, now that eBay controls the entire transaction, I would not be surprised to see if they bump those fees just a little bit. So as a fee, or as a percentage of the sale value, $100, $15.14 is 14.959% on the old one, and 15.136 under new eBay managed payments. So more expensive. Continuing on, let's do another one. This item was a Hot Wheels car that I sold here locally. I still shipped it, and I covered the shipping on my half. So it was $14. Let's see here. It was a little cheapy. Charged shipping was $0. Sales tax, what was that? $1.20. And then actual shipping cost was $3.46. I didn't make any money on this, did I? $10.54 for a Hot Wheel? Okay, I did. I made a little bit of money. The old fees would have been $2.14. The new fees would have been $2.18. So you can see it doesn't matter if it's expensive or not. The new fees, if you're using the 12.35% as your base figure, meaning that you're not in a store of the basic level or above, and you're not doing more than about $3,500 roughly in transactions per month, you do not save money on the eBay's new fees. You just don't. Let's do just one more just to make sure that I'm not completely psycho here. This one was a pitcher that I just sold. $42.42 is what I sold it for. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I might have just messed up my form here. $42.42. Charged shipping was $24.20. Sales tax was $3.66, and I did mess up my thing. $18.31. Yes. So that is equal to this plus this minus that. So my net revenue on that was $48.51. Old fees on that would have been $9.03. New ones, $9. So actually a net gain of 2 cents. I have no clue why. I think that has something to do with the sales tax being lower in, I think that was Nebraska, is where I sold that. So as an overall picture, I'm going to say the eBay managed payment fees are more expensive for the average seller that is doing low volume, that is not selling at least $3,500, is not on a basic store or above, and is just like either a casual seller, a part-time seller, or somebody who is doing low volume, maybe, and high value stuff. You're going to pay more money unless you're doing a store. In order to make the store worth it, you have to be doing roughly $3,500 a month to offset the cost of the store with the savings of the fees, the 0.85% that you save when you bump up to a basic store. Okay, so all of this to say a couple things. In my experiences so far, I definitely will not be saving millions by switching to eBay managed payments. Again, Geico, don't sue me. If the bottom line, though, is if we plan on selling on eBay, this is just something that we're going to have to deal with. It's something that we're going to have to plan for. As always, most of the time, people's fees are going to get passed on to the consumer in some way, shape, or form. I've been pretty fortunate, actually, with the last few transactions that I've had in my shipping calculations being better. I do get a discount on shipping, and I'm always looking for the best shipping rates, either through eBay or Pirate Ship or any number of other things. But you do have to plan for it because it's something that's going to affect your business. Depending on how much you're selling and what you're doing, you're going to have to plan for it if you're going to continue selling on eBay, because there's no going back and everybody's going to be on managed payments by December 31st, according to eBay. That's yet to be seen if that's true or not. Another note is that now that eBay controls the entire transaction, again, I'm not going to be too terribly surprised if they have a little bit of an overreach, if they start adjusting their fees in the upward direction to be competitive with marketplaces like Amazon and OfferUp and everything like that. OfferUp charges you 12.9% to sell on their platform, which is way too much money for that platform in my opinion. So that's something that we're going to have to contend with if you're going to continue to sell on eBay. There are still a lot of benefits to selling on eBay. eBay collects and remits sales tax on your behalf. There's a marketplace of 1,000 bajillion eBay members that are looking for the item that you have. And it is a gigantic marketplace. So there is still definitely pros to selling on eBay. But I will likely start phasing out and looking into different channels to sell on if they don't kind of get their stuff in order. Another thought that I had is that the cash flow thing is a killer for most new businesses. So if you need cash flow, you need to plan for it ahead of time. You need to plan for it before you switch over so that you can manage your money well enough that you can last for the 5 days that it might take you to get your money from a sale on eBay. And that's just kind of a final thought because that's one of the biggest impacts to me personally. I run really lean and I use every expendable dollar while I'm growing this thing and scaling this thing as quickly as I possibly can. I use every absolute cent that I can to grow the business. So those are just my thoughts on eBay Managed Payments and the fees, this aspect of it. I appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you would, please like, favorite, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. There's going to be a bunch of sources in the description below, so check those out. Also, you like my new end screen, click on those things and do that kind of stuff. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.